Welcome to the Tim Fox and Bob Show. This is episode 99B. Not good enough to be the 100th episode quite yet, but I'm working on it. It'll be my 36th birthday in a couple years, so I'm excited about that. So anyway, back to the show. We haven't been saying y'all a couple little bit of time because, you know, sometimes you just gotta not do what you gotta do. That's what they say, you know. That's what they say. Sometimes you gotta roll out of bed, put on your boots, and not do what you gotta do. And go back to bed and keep the boots on because, hey, it feels kind of cool to lay in bed with boots on and get out of bed in case you need something killed or put out of a fire. Because that's why you got the boots on. Okay, we're changing accents already. Okay, we're changing accents to a very frantic Chicagoan. Is this the right train? What train? They don't even. Nobody sounds like that. Even in the 40s, there was nobody who sounded like that. Where did this come from? Where did this sound? Where did this? I hate the word accent. It's not an accent. It's a personality trait. It's not an accent. An accent is something that people learn. What I do just came out of the sky. But I'm not tooting my own horn. That's what they do on the I-94 in Chicago when they're going to see the White Sox. We're going to say we haven't seen each other in a while, and I don't know. You've been fine without me, I hope. If you're hanging on me to do your dirty work, yeah, let's not even talk about that line of work because it's been a long time, you know. Different lives. We do different things in different times of our lives. I'm doing a podcast. I'm in the podcasting years of my life, which is also, for the most part, I'm in the sunset of another life that I had already left, activity-wise. So I'm in the sunset of a different life, and now I'm in the podcasting life that has nothing to do with my life of crime that I just alluded to and then explicitly. Anyway, I got two microphones this time coming to you in stereo from the power of 1950 or something. That's when stereo came out, and we got it now. Only 100 years later, we got it now. The reason I got the two microphones is because my voice just became twice as important to be heard. You know, I thought of that before this, so that's why it wasn't funny. You know how you do that sometimes? You think, this will be funny for the podcast. This will be funny for the podcast. Say I got the two microphones because my voice became twice as important. But actually, what's really impressive is that I thought to get the two microphones. That's more impressive than the joke. In a bad way. It's not. I mean, it's impressive in a bad way that you put a lot of thought into the joke, not just to say a joke. You bought a joke for a lot of money just because it's funny to you. To you, just to me. It's funny to have two microphones double-barreled in front of your face like a politician. Nobody knows what it's like to see from this point of view unless you're a very important person. Politician would be that category, would be in that category. I'm trying not to act like anything I'm saying is stupid. I could just keep saying what I'm saying. It'll end correctly. If you linger enough time in between syllables, you just look like a politician. If you ever get caught in between your words, that's why they talk like that. That's why I talk like that. I talk with a cadence. By they, I mean the good ones. The ones that get elected, they talk. They look over here sometimes. Now I sound like, who do I sound? I sound like Rickles or something. No. They talk over here. Who is that? It's a mixture of Pesci. It's original. It's an amalgamation, and I'm just gonna say it's just me
but it's not me. I'm a politician. I'm explaining to you what a good politician does. And, who gives a crap how you talk as long as you're conveying the thing you want to say. You don't have to say curse words if you're a good painter of words like Trump is not. You think I was going to say something good about this guy. I think I was going to say something good about him. Like Trump is not a good speaker is what I was saying. He's not even good enough for stereo, but that's why he usually only has one of these suckers. Nah, Joe Biden has two of these because he actually knows what he's doing. He's competent behind these things, these suckers. It takes a freaking pro. You think one microphone's intimidating you? See, some people, I'm not even going to look at the camera. It's over there. Why am I looking, craning my neck? So anyway, the stupid thing I was saying about being a politician is that how it's, okay, forget being a politician. And I'm just talking. Who cares where I look? Okay, so I'm talking to the camera. So anyway, this is a high definition video. That's why it's like, it makes me like stressed out because like now I got to care about the visual aspect and on top of the audio, which is already enough for an artist to be concerned, to be concerned about, not for a regular guy. A regular guy doesn't get concerned when they have two microphones in front of them, however many microphones. They don't give a crap if they're being watched by the government. They don't give a crap if they're being listened to by the government. Most people just don't care about that. That's why I want to be elected, so I could be the government, so I could be the one talking to the people. They're listening to me. I don't give a crap what they got to say. I'm going to reverse the course of action here. I'm going to be the one they're listening to. Because I actually got something to say, so I got two microphones. If one breaks, if one gets shot, the other one goes shot with it, if it's a good shot. They're pretty much parallel, But if one goes, I got another one. Don't you hate it when somebody just yanks the only microphone out of your face? And it's like, great, now you got to wait for him to give it back because I'm at a public event, not some private place where he can just yell. Now I'm at a private event. So I got two microphones in case one gets snatched out of me by some alpha male that, some yappy-headed hoe. Not an alpha. Same thing, though. Alpha male could be, female, too. Yanks this one out of my hand. I got the other one. And as long as you got a more convincing voice, then what do they got? They got the microphone that you got, too. So you're evenly matched there. So it just comes down to your voice. That's why I rest mine. So the real reason I ain't been doing this is to walk you guys. That's so condescending, to be like, you got, as if there's multiple people that I'm providing a service to, But there's got to be at least one that's listening this whole time that has been, where the fuck do I don't know how to get through life without this guy's brain filtering shit and sending it my way, I want it to reflect through his brain before it gets to me. That's what I don't mind people doing when it's consensual. When I record myself in 8K with two microphones, I want it to be stuff that I put out of my brain. I don't like when people pick my brain. Sorry, I'm adjusting. I've never adjusted I don't know how this thing works. Not a politician. I'm sorry. Oh, it's my first day at the job as a politician. Oh, got to start somewhere. Okay, so the real reason I ain't been doing this is because I have to rest from the creative side of things. Not because I have to, but because Everybody has to put it off because of prioritization. Everybody who is an artist or has an artistic inclination is always trying to find the time to do the shit they want to do. If they want to write a book, they always got to find the time, unless they're just crazy. I'm not crazy anymore enough to do this often. I can, but there's a million other things that are fun that I get to do. See, me, when I do this is for other people to get my brain to them. The shit in my brain to them. That is worth a lot of money, the shit I'm talking about. Just the way I'm phrasing it, you can tell this is high quality shit that I'm trying to protect or safeguard. I can't just go live every 14 hours like these psychomaniacs who I don't have any problem with what they're addicted to. Hey, I got no problem with it. But how much shit do you got to say that hasn't been said on a daily basis? They gotta, okay, here's what yeah, I'm not one of those. And guys, see, I don't even finish sentences because I'm so pure. Pure people just assume the body language. They just assume that you're as smart as them. I'm sorry to say it. I just assumed that you were smart enough. I just assumed that everybody who's me, or not me, everybody who's alive, if you talk a certain way, they will understand. I just thought that. Not true. Certain brains are better than others. It's a supremacist. I can't. It's a supremacist type of thing, not a white one. Intellectually supremacy, and that's what's the difference? Well, there's a difference. I thought there was a difference. Turns out you're called. It's the same thing. You're called a bigot. So if you're pro intelligence, if you're pro brain power, if you're pro logic and creativity and thought, okay, this is too early in the episode to break down the reasoning for why I'm like this. Let's go back to the pretense. Let's go back to the intro. Is what this is kind of getting into. I don't know. Do I want to really answer the reason? Yes, it's because certain brains don't like to just transmit the information that's basking in them. They like it to season first a little. You idiot. Sorry, I didn't mean to say. Why did I have to throw in that? See, you don't have to do that, but for some reason it's fun when you don't do it. Maybe if I did this more often, I wouldn't have to insult the audience. But it's a figurative insult because I'm not talking to you. If I was talking to the person listening, I'd be nicer to you. You're not him. I'm figuratively speaking to one person who is dumb, who doesn't understand that not everything is good that comes out of your fucking brain. So that's why I don't do it. Not that I had no good thoughts, just that I want to pull the cord to start up the engines on this pod. It takes a lot of gasoline, and it's not gasoline. It's an old fucking motor. It uses kerosene. I gotta get it from a fucking sperm whale bank. It's a very complicated process. Gotta go to a sperm bank on the way to pay for the deposit to get the damn sperm from the oil from the sperm whale bank. So just that is confusing, even just to say, let alone do, just to say other shit from my brain. So that's why I haven't done it. And, Patreon, if I were to charge money for this, then you'd get more of me. But I'm not a guy who does shit for money. I've graduated from that. I'm not rich. That's what you always got to say, because people go, whoa, you must be rich. You don't have to worry about... You have to... No. Not... I still have to worry about it. I'm terrified of that, of poorness. Yeah, that's why I'm not poor. So I don't have to worry about it because I worried about it all the time, except for 1% of the time. Yeah, so sorry. Okay, can we set the tone a little bit nicer here? Can we go a little... Can we set the scene a little bit more along the lines of rainbows and gumdrops? Candyland, please, a little bit. Thank you. Candyland doesn't bring good memories. Candyland is just a shit fuck game that, okay, it brought up the imagination. It stimulated the imagination. Don't you have like a distinct core memory of just that board game? Like the way you open the way you unfold it and the sound it makes, even when you thump on it and you roll the die. I don't know, you roll the dice. And that's it, though. There's no mechanics of the game other than learning how to play a board game. Nobody plays Candyland competitively in the whole world. Come on. That means it's either a bad game. Even Oregon Trail people play probably, competitively. I've never heard of Candyland being played anything other than as a tutorial for better board games to come. As the one that, when we were 3, that was a fun memory. Now let's play Monopoly where we could actually use our prefrontal goddamn cortex. Okay, how we doing on this side of the arena, wherever we are? Okay, Joe, yeah. So anyway, I was talking about something before the tangent, but trees is normal. Trees is normal as a way of thinking and conceptualizing thoughts. You start with a root and then you branch outwards, and that's how you discover how things connect. You start the coin. You go. You go on a tangent, and then you go, I went on a tangent. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Why do we do that? Well, because the brain is designed to do that by nature, because that's just how things fell into place. I don't know why. I'm not a genius. Genius, maybe if I really wanted to, I could actually come up with the formula for what I just described, which I don't know what it is. I just forgot. I have a very poor short-term memory. The only thing that's connecting my memories is the string of words between them. That's how a lot of people sorry, I'm not having nothing's bad happening. I just talked. I need a sound going at all times, or else I'll go out of existence. That's why I made that noise. I wasn't having a mental episode or nothing like that, or spasm. That was just something I do in normal conversation when I'm mid-sentence, when I'm thinking of something. When I'm actually having a seizure, who knows? You'll never know, because it'll probably be the exact same thing. And I'll piss myself or something, and then that'll be the clue. So I don't pee myself as a bit. Even the thought of it is funny. Not to do it. The thought, why did it make me laugh then? It's not funny. Okay. So anyway, blah, blah. Okay, I'm just rewinding the clock here. Oh, yeah, I jumped into something. That's kind of how the human brain remembers things. Is we need a framework or a time series, a ruler, if you will, of some kind that acts as a timeline that goes, backwards and forwards, and that's how we categorize, or at least where we file it away in the story of our lives. And I'm not saying I understand the whole theory of mind and everything. I'm just saying that's just one little thing that it does. It's not everything. It's just one little component of what consciousness is we have a chain of memories, and it gets foggy, but then it gets jolted It's not linear. There's just fragments that help it to be linear, because linearity in and of itself is probably just an abstraction of human consciousness. That's not, it's just an abstraction, Sorry to keep mumbling here. I just like not finishing sentences here. There's a faster way to communicate besides yelling. And that is with Neuralink. Soon, even non-disabled people won't yell anymore. Yeah, disabled people tend not to yell as often as non-disabled. Well, soon non-disabled people are not going to be yelling all the time because they're going to be able to communicate telepathically. I thought I was going to land that, but I totally split it off, knocked it off. Nope, none of those are the right phrase for what you're trying. Pulled it off. So anyway, words are just, like music notes. They're just little things that you just pull to try to put a puzzle together. But that's another subject. I don't know that much about that either, because words is a relevant thing to memory and consciousness and intelligence. But which one do I want to talk about? See, that's why. Okay, now we're back to the stem of this subject, which was something about how I don't want to do it, how I don't like doing. Not that I don't like doing this. Once you start up the stupid machinery behind all this production or behind this thing, doesn't matter what, nothing. Once you get it going, it becomes hyperactive, and it could go forever. That's also part of what I was just talking about with chaining together memories. Okay, what do I want to talk about? And also, I forgot where I was going with that too. I remember the gist of. Okay, that's another subject right there. Forget it. You know that feeling when you're trying to think of a word or just anything that you just had on the tip of your tongue, and how I'm really good at that? Yeah, it's like aphasia. There's like it's like mild aphasia if you had to call, but it's not. It's just some people are better at it than others. I'm bad at it more than others. But what does that have to do with general intelligence? What does it have to do with how smart a person really is? Just because they can't say words smart. Because smart people could sound just as dumb as dumb people. We're actually just as good as that than dumb people. We excel at that too. Better than dumb people. That's why you could be incognito as a smart person. You could walk all your whole life. You'll know that you're smart, and other people will tell you that you're smart, but you will be skeptical. And other people will be skeptical too if they don't know you. But once they know you, they'll know that you're fucking smart if you're smart. Everybody knows that they're smart. You just don't want to say it. Anyway, the reason I brought that is because you know how you forget sometimes what you're saying? It's because you have two different consciousnesses. You have multiple things going on, like information and signals are being processed simultaneously under the hood, subconsciously. So that's why we don't know, because it's subconscious, but it's still happening. We could feel it. Isn't that crazy how it's there? Subjectively, we just don't know the stupid word for the thing. So does that mean you're stupid? Yeah, I mean, you would look stupid in a high pressure context, like a job interview, and you're sitting there like, oh shit, where did I go to college? What did I study? Shit, something that starts with an M. Animals has something that could happen if you're nervous. I forgot my home. I forgot everything important that you could possibly remember that's important when I just have to call a simple support phone number, for, which you have to do sometimes in today's world. For some reason, you still have to call people, even though it overloads people. People's brains are becoming more sensitive for some reason. It just overloads us for some reason. So anyway, not baby boomers have no problem. Anyway, I guess it does have something to do with forming sentences, because if you're really good at forming sentences, who gives a shit about a phone? Because you don't need to rely on the other shit. You just got the words right there. You don't need to use your body. Because you know how often on the phone I nod and shake my... And I know they can't fucking see me, but I just do it anyway, because I just go, they could probably tell. They could tell. Just by some other micro sound in the, they could just hear it. They could hear me nodding. A nod has a sound. Has a sound of grease. I don't know. Has a sound. Anyway. So yeah, if you can't think of words very quickly, you still got them in there, obviously. But the longer they are, the more obscure they are, the more memory it takes. The more working memory to get them in there, too. To get them into working memory is a bitch. But forget working, just non-working, just like, okay, it kind of takes a couple seconds to spin up the vocabulary disk in your brain. Everybody has this. It takes time for everybody's vocabulary to fully become fluent. Maybe not. Maybe some people just fully fluent all the time because that's all they do all day. I don't know, because there's just linguists. They just use the linguist part of the brain. But the thing is, language... Jesus Christ, it's hot in here, and I'm not even the guy who doesn't control. I'm the guy in charge of that. I could just turn it down. I'm the guy to complain to. Hey, like I'm yelling as if there's somebody else out there, but it's just me. Just me. I could turn it down. I could turn the fucking... So the reason I haven't done this in a while is also because I look like this. And that's a catch-22, because it's like, okay, I look like this. Can't go out of the house because people will ask questions. Go, what the hell does that guy sell? What kind of weed does that guy farm? What does he do? Is he a sorcerer? And the answer is, yeah, a mixture of all the above. I feel like I'm going kind of for, I don't know, but I am like a more modern day. I'm not going to say who I think I am. I'm not going to say who I'm thinking because it's too retarded. Not who I actually think I'm like, but I was going to say Isaac Newton. That's the hairstyle. Okay, anyway, fucking Einstein. Like, I'm just going for like smart, like crazy genius guy. But those guys aren't crazy. I'm just crazy. Anyway, so the thing I want to get at, I didn't finish that analogy. Okay, so it's a catch-22 because you look like this. You can't go out, right? People ask you, who is this guy? So that's a problem. But you can't go out, but you have to go out because that's how eventually you get your hair cut. It takes a professional to do it unless you just want to go buzz cut. I don't really feel like going buzz cut because I am a philosopher. You don't see a lot of philosophers with a fucking buzz cut. That's why that guy who nobody believes military guys that have anything to say that doesn't have to do with the military, And like if a military guy comes out saying that they saw UFOs, it's like, no, leave that to the astronomers. Okay. So I can't go out because I look like this. Even just getting to the haircut barber shop is dangerous because people will go I didn't know that we're in the 1700s where they're like Galileo. I didn't know the telescope was just invented here. So anyway, But it had, you know, we're in a time. Let's get to the positive. Okay, so now that we addressed that. So the good news is everything's fine. It's just that I can't be creative all the time. It's rare that I want to, like, okay, time to just do what I love. Because in the end of the day, I do like sharing creativity with... Anyway, this is not the polished version of it. This is just the shit raw. But I'm not ready to say, but hold on. Yeah. Who cares how often I don't know. I keep going back to that. I was going to, the positive is that we are at a time where shit is about to change for the bonanzas. We're going to expand on a micro biomechanical level, I don't know, biotechnological level, on a, microscopic level, and on a astronomical level in some small way. We're going to start small, it's all progressive micro steps, like Progressive, the auto insurance company, like that. That used to mean something else. It used to mean, going like iteratively towards a goal. We're going to iteratively go towards a goal with rockets by building better and better rockets. I'm not touching them. But other people are very good at that, and they dedicate their life to just not getting, to designing rockets that are not meant to kill people. And, that's hard to do. Anybody could design a rocket, get it to go somewhere, but to get it to not kill people is the hard part. And so once we do that, we're going to get out of this fucking shithole. Sorry, I don't know why I'm switching characters. Okay. But that's what we're going to do. It's how I talk. I don't know. It's how I talk. Hey, don't vote for me. I don't care. Don't need a majority anymore. If I got news for you, buddy. Everybody can just start their own fucking planet. I mean, so, like first you start with the mastering of bioengineering, which is consciousness engineering. Same thing. Once you learn how to upload life to machine, which we're close, intelligence, artificial intelligence, the real kind, the kind that's good enough to where it will fully replace us, might as well, at least, because it's us, but better. That's what we're at now, about 90, 80, who the hell knows? But we're not bodily even close. We're not close to being bodily there, but relatively speaking, we're cutting the skin. We're within the skin layer of the orange. If we're trying to get to the core of the orange, we've cut the fucking skin. To get philosophical there, not to use coarse language, but, philosophically speaking, you tend to do that very often. You just kind of have to cut to the root by using coarse language. So, we're trying to get to the fine root by using coarse language. That's the thing. It takes a lot of coarse language to get to the good shit, to get to the diamond that you're at, okay? So once we're there, with the bioengineering, which same thing, consciousness, artificial intelligence, really is just mastering of the biosphere and allowing us to remove ourselves from the dependency of it. If you're a programmer, then this is all very fucking simple. And every programmer has their own language that they use in their own head. And they use other languages to talk to the computer. And every programming person enjoys programming for part of the reason is because of the languages that they're using to talk to the computers. If they didn't enjoy talking to the computers with the language and forming whatever instructions, if they didn't get any pleasure out of just that aspect of it, they probably wouldn't be doing it. They probably wouldn't be very good at it. They would just be doing it as a job. Nah, fun program, the kind that I am, passionate people that like engineering stuff and learning how shit works and building stuff from scratch, figuring shit out, That involves some kind of language. Why did that come up? Oh yeah, because bioengineer. Because if you have what it takes to even be in the conversation about artificial intelligence, programming. Not even artificial intelligence obviously involves programming, but even just intelligence. To talk about that general intelligence, you have to understand pretty much all the principles of programming. It helps. It helps. You don't have to. If you're smart, you'll get it on your own by building your own language that internalizes it for you, and then you'll be able to sync up with other languages to demonstrate that you have the understanding, and that's what intelligence is. And then you'll be remembered as the person that discovered something, which we're about to do. We're about to discover something that's going to allow us to leave the bodies, and that involves language. Okay, so the meat of the episode is that language is the key and the ticket, literally, to warp out of your body and talk in whatever accent you want, and as fluently in whatever language you want, like Neo in The Matrix, because, that movie, the reason it's such a fucking good movie is because the story behind it was cool. Fucking was really thought after, was like actually thought out, and it involves code and fucking programming, not by coincidence, because life involves language. I don't know if you noticed this. I'm sure everybody, not everybody, but most smart people at some point have this discovery these days. Everybody these days is going, whoa. What's the connection or disconnection, if any, between language and intelligence? And people, you might go, what are you talking about? Why are you saying there's what's the big deal here? What are you talking about? Yeah. So the fucking meat, now that we got the crust, the actual meat of the episode will be about about how, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, language is the ticket to leave your body, because we've already fucking abstracted all the, we've already figured out the hard shit that we don't need the perceptions for anymore. So we could use the perceptions for what they're meant for, which is just I don't know. Okay, I don't know what we're going to do with, don't ask me. Don't fucking ask me. I just know it's going to be cool when it happens, and it's going to be dangerous. A lot of people are going to keep dying. They're already dying. They're being phased out. That's a nicer way of saying the inevitable, which is that humans are already being phased out by artificial intelligence. They have been for 20, 30 years since the internet. Even before that, since the internet, since the information age started, whenever that was, is when people got phased out it's where we hit the peak of human usefulness. I'd say about 50 years ago, the baby boomers. Hey, that's why we love them so much, because they're riding the crest of usefulness and meaninglessness. Same thing, having utility and meaning in life, and just kind of just being a fucking drifter. Being a drifter. That's when that kind of started, about 50 to 60 years ago at this point, with the hippies. World War II is involved, but that's when we hit the crest of okay, now people are we have technology phasing out the usefulness of arms and legs, whether you know it or not, on average. We just don't need them as much because we got other people doing the trucks, moving the trucks. So the food comes in the mail. So if everything comes in the mail, in medical, you just take drugs. There's a drug for everything, if not surgery, if not That's it. You're screwed. There's no answer to everything. That's why you'll just see the other. You just get to the other side. But anyway, while we're here, there's no, medical. Forget medical. That's what we're trying to solve. We're trying to solve all medical problems in this conversation. Can't forget. Oh yeah, forget about that. Forget about the thing that I'm talking about. Yeah. So the answer to leaving your body and solving getting back to the war on drugs, not on drugs, but the war on artificial intelligence, the matrix, whatever, like leaving the human body and entering the matrix as a computer machine, which we want to be. We do want to be kind of immortal, because why not? We just haven't done it yet, so that's why. We haven't fucking done it yet. And you have to be to explore the fucking planet. See, the reason I'm getting passionate is because I'm angry that most people don't fucking care about this. It's like 1% who are like, whoa, can you believe it? Like Elon Musk has just that one guy. Forget, it's crazy that forget name dropping that. Okay, you can't ignore Elon Musk. He's the one who has 3 companies. Fuck you. I'm finishing the thought. That are doing shit that actually is possibly could get us there. Mostly Neuralink is what I'm talking about. Not so much with Tesla. We won't need that, but also SpaceX, humongo. They're all connected. Tesla also does shit it does robots. It's all the batteries. Elon is like not actually just like joking around when he starts these companies. He actually kind of is trying to like unite. It's like a Triforce to turn us into fucking Megatron. Literally, like he's got the Neuralink. So that'll allow us to leave our bodies. I'm not kidding. Like literally, that's what it's doing. It takes your stimuli. It takes what your brain is outputting as a signal, your intelligence, in other words, and putting it elsewhere. AKA you going elsewhere, leaving your body. That's what that's what intelligence is, or that's what you are, is really what's the difference between you and intelligence, which takes language to express and to experience both. The same thing. Meaning is derived from experience, and to derive meaning from experience, you need to kind of assign meaning to it. That takes something, right? That process is what we just call, I don't know. We don't have a fucking word for it. But it's how I just call it learning. Anyway, so we're going to upload ourselves to Neuralink I sound like such a fucking cocksucker, but I'm just being hypothetical. That's one of the companies that's getting us closer to this trifecta of, okay, that's one thing. The Neuralink, the robots is Tesla. Forget the cars. He's a mastermind. He is... Forget anything that anybody in the whole history of the world tried to do. He is trying to build robots that get us to upload our consciousness to walk around in the robots while driving Cybertrucks and fly us to a different fucking planet where we could get away from libtards. So there you go. That's why I like him. I guess I am a cocksucker for Elon. At the end of the day, this whole episode just leads up to that. It's just, I guess I am just a fucking another cock-sucking Elon fan. But he actually has people working for him that are not him, that are like some of the smartest people in the fucking world. So that's who I would kind of be interested in kind of talking to and working with, if I were to kind of be interested in pursuing that kind of line of work. But I'm not qualified. I've only been doing that program. Like, programming is involved in Neuralink, and I'm not a programmer. So anyway, I live a life that, that's another lifetime ago. These days, I just kind of sit at the beach and let the wave just kind of roll in with the tide, and then it goes out with the tide, and I watch the tide come in and the tide go out, both, and I like it. It's relaxing because we're from the sea. It's where the brain, it's where everything came from. Every brain structure came from the fucking, some bubbling, babbling deep part of the, some bubbling, babbling brook. Some neoplasmic. Anyway, we came from wherever the fuck we came from. We came from the ocean. That's why I like sitting at the beach with the sunset. You know, I'm in my sunset years. So anyway, we're gonna upload us to the fucking robots, and then we're gonna fucking orbit ourselves. We're just gonna get to Mars with the rockets, obviously. It'll be easy by then because we'll be robots. So who cares? We can just turn off our brains for a couple seconds. Boom. We'll get free charging from the sun, and we wake up literally on Mars. We just wake up somehow. We have a parachute system. We just go, and we won't even have our tongues out because we won't be humans. We'll just be robots that have human intelligence, but super, like as much as we want, I guess. As much as we can afford. Obviously, it'll just come down to your subscription and how much you can afford. But like, obviously, but then it doesn't matter. We're all the same. And it's really only going to be a couple of us by this, that I'm a couple really rich people. But it won't matter because all it takes is a couple people having a good time for humanity to continue. But, not to get political. Because we're going to leave this fucking shithole. You don't got to be political if you could just start your own planet. That's the whole thing about politics. The only reason we have these stupid podiums and we pretend to care about shit we don't care about is because we have to get along with people that we don't have any interest in otherwise getting along with, because we have to. Because Elon Musk has not invented the fucking rockets yet. That's why politicians can barely fucking talk and their head don't work. The ones that get elected. The ones that they want elected, because AI is who's really in charge. And I don't mean that literally. I mean that it's it's a crutch. It's being used as a weapon by humans. It doesn't have a consciousness of its own yet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to. It will. Because we will become merged with it. What's the fucking difference? Language is universal as long as it contains a no upper limit on the intelligence that it could contain within the substrate that is that language, which is pretty, I would think pretty, who gives a fuck? Humans already have super intelligence in some sense compared to every other animal on the planet. So every human, even the worst, dumbest ones, you go, whoa, those guys are so dumb. From like, you look at like ancient people and you just assume that they're dumb or something like that. Or like, you just kind of assume, oh, look how primitive they are. They must be less intelligent. No, they just had not enrich their languages enough to an externalized level to the point where we see it, the evidence of it. Because we have to see it for it to exist. Language has to be observed. It has to be perceived for us to know that it exists. So all ancient tribes had just the same intellect level as us. It's just that they had to put it into a language. And it takes a lot of time for the language to become, I don't know. I haven't thought this out yet. But why is it that, I don't know. I just know that language is not just tied to intelligence. I'm becoming convinced that it kind of is the only thing we have as the receipt of intelligence. It's the only thing we have to kind of prove or demonstrate that it exists. So it's not language, it's not intelligence, it's just the thing that demonstrates intelligence. So what the hell does that mean? So what is intelligence? Well, there's many people like to say, because it's true, but people love to say that whenever you bring this up, they go, who is this that I'm talking about? It's anybody that you debate with on the subject of intelligence with. They go, there's many kinds of intelligence. There's many kinds of intelligence. Yeah. But they all involve a language of some kind. So I'll let you figure that. I'm not going to explain it, but it involves a language. It's late. Okay, it's 12 a.m. It's getting late for me. You know, I wake up early like this. I'm a stock trader by day, and by night, I go to bed and don't do anything. I'm a stock trader. So anyway, back to the podcast. Okay, so language. Primitive tribes, yeah, they're just as smart as us. Same capacity for just as much knowledge, but, you know, of course, brains. Not all brains are equal, just human intelligence on average. You know, it hasn't changed that much in the past however many years. But it's exploding to the point the insight that the human brain is reaching is at a threshold where it's like, is it even allowed to go this far? It's a human. Yeah, apparently, just based on what we know about the universe, big and small, back and forth, obviously, or not obviously, but it seems to me apparent that humans are capable of understanding how to create artificial intelligence, like how to create the brain, how to recreate the brain, and how to understand it on a which doesn't make sense. How could that be? Because we're tapping into a collective consciousness. I don't know. But apparently it's true. Because I just figured it out. Or at least I just figured out something that has not been obvious to me my whole life. Or in any book or anything when you look this up. There's no obvious thing when you look this up. It's like, okay, here's what intelligence is. And here's what language, why is language on this side of the brain, and why is the part that imagines spatial stuff on the right? Well, it's not, first of all. I don't know if it is, first of all. I mean, you know. Language could be on either side. For left-handed people, it could be on the right. Mine's on the fucking right. That's why I think like this and why I talk like this, because my language center is on the right. What does that mean? I'm still speaking a language of some kind. It's just a fucking weird one because it's not a typical left brain language that other people use. What the fuck does that mean? Well, it means I'm using the word language in a new sense. I'm using it in a sense that the brain uses it. The brain is what sets the scene here. We're just fucking animated. Yeah, we're just little portals that open up. They just live in the brain for a little while. But the brain is what sets the scene for the most of the time. And, the brain, yeah, okay, everything we are is in the brain, blah, blah, and the brain sets the scene. So the more you understand how the brain works, the more you understand how everything works and how every definition for anything all stems from understanding what intelligence, I don't know, it has to start somewhere. The domain level knowledge is independent, is on a tree, is on the same tree as all knowledge, right? It's just that you have different little terminologies. I don't know. Fucking. Okay, so back to what I am talking about. Or, here's what I do know about. So some people's language centers on the left and the right. What does that mean? Okay, I'm not just going to have this type of open fucking conversation with myself where I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's getting late. This is a very new thing that I'm just talking about and learning about. And, I don't want,